Hey guys, Hiron the mechanic Chapin again. Hola muchachos, aquí el mecánico Chapin otra vez. I want to share something with you guys. I'm changing the whole engine on a 2006 Ford Fusion. I got the 3.0 engine, 6-cylinder. It's a bigger engine. Ok, estoy reemplazando un motor de un 2006 Ford Fusion. Tengo el motor de 6 cilindros, el 3.0, que es algo grande el motor. Les voy a enseñar un poco qué es lo que hay que hacer, a darles una idea, no paso por paso. Okay guys, I will show you what you need to do to remove this engine from this car. I'm not going to show you exactly what you got to do, but I will give you an idea what to do, okay? Let's see. Okay guys, what I did, I had removed the hood. I did remove the radiator fan assembly. Okay, here I'm going to show you something about the all the connectors. You don't need to remove all the plugs. You can take the engine. I will show you the other engine. I'm swapping this one. Okay. The power steering pump stays on the engine. You need to remove that. La bomba del hidráulico no la tienen que quitar. Everything stays in place. The only thing you gotta remove is this hose from here, okay? Remove this hose. Everything else, all the plugs, todas las mangueras, todos los conectadores se quedan en el mismo lugar. Okay, the power steering hose, the pressure hose, you only have to remove the 19mm bolt going to the rack and pinion. En la manguera de presión del hidráulico solo remueven este 19mm. The two heater core hoses on the back, and all the wire harness. It's almost everything in one plug. This is going in the PCM. Just remove it from here. Just remove the ground wire, 10mm bolt, and this is basically the 98% of the plugs. See that? All the plugs. In the O2 sensor, you need to unplug it from here, O2 sensor, and the other O2 sensor from the back. Okay, on this side you only have to remove the en este lado solo tienen que remover el tubo del intake. You only have to remove the intake tube and airbags and coolant hoses, two coolant hoses, the starter, the two wires going to the starter, positive and negative from the battery, and these two plugs beside the battery, and the O2 sensor, and the alternator connector for the 12-volt alternator plug, and this is going to the AC compressor. Okay, as you can see, you don't have to remove any plugs on the other engine, and you don't have to remove the intake or anything. This is where I'm going now. That's what I'm doing now. I just got everything disconnected because I was doing everything, you know, from the I did remove the intake, the EGR valve. Yo removí el intake, la válvula EGR, y estaba removiendo esto, and I also was removing this because I wasn't sure if the engine was coming out without taking all this apart. But now when I got the other engine, I can see you need to remove a lot of stuff on it, okay. Y ahora que vi el otro motor, ya veo que no hay que remover muchas cosas, ok. Esto es lo que llevamos hasta ahora. Ahí les voy a mostrar más cuando lleguemos. Okay guys, that's where I am now. I will continue recording on this video and show you not a step by step, but I will show you, the basic things you need to do. Okay, that's what I got now. Okay guys, I just showed you what to do in the top. Okay, ya les enseñé qué es lo que hay que hacer arriba del motor. Now I'm going to show you what to do on the bottom. First thing, in the suspension, we have to remove the upper ball joint. Just remove this nut, punch a couple times with a big hammer. Solo remueven esta tuerca y le pegan varias veces con el martillo aquí y luego va a zafar. Okay, just hit it with the hammer a couple times. It's going to pop off. You don't need to remove the CV axle nut or caliper, anything. Okay, just remove the upper ball joint. No necesitan quitar el caliper, nada más. Solo remueven el ball joint, lo zafan. And then just pry the CV axle from the bottom. You can use a long screwdriver or pry bar, something, and just pry out. The CV axle is going to come off. Okay, just take it out of the way. You don't need to remove the whole CV axle. Solo la palanquean, la sacan. No necesitan remover la flecha de una vez. Same thing on the other side. Exactly the same thing. Just the upper ball joint and the CV axle from there. Okay, the because the passenger side axle has the other part going to the transmission, but the part can stay inside. You don't need to remove that. Just remove it from here to take it out of the way, and then when the engine is out, you can remove the other part and just swap it to the other engine. Okay, no necesitan remover la pieza adentro de la flecha, solo déjenla ahí, ya cuando esté afuera se saca. Okay, that's all you need to do from the suspension. And now I'm going to show you the from the bottom. Just remove the flex pipe. Let me see. Flex pipe, 215 millimeter bolts, 215 millimeter nuts. Okay, just take it off, and then just remove the engine mount bolt, 15 millimeter also, and then that's it for the bottom. Now we can lift the engine with the engine hoist. It's ready to go. Okay, ahora solo ponemos la pieza ahí y ya está listo para sacarlo. Okay, basically this engine is ready to be taken out. The only thing that I need to do now is use a seat belt. I use seat belt to tighten the engine, and then I'm going to use the engine hoist to lift it up straight. And remove these two motor mounts on the top. Okay, let's continue, and I will show you when I'm lifting up the engine. Okay, vamos a continuar y después les enseño cuando ya tenga el motor levantado. Okay guys, now remove the 21 millimeter bolt on this side, and the other side 2 18 millimeter bolts, and we have to completely remove the motor mount, 4 13 millimeter bolts. Okay, as you can see, I completely removed the motor mount. Quité todo el soporte del motor porque no sale la transmisión para arriba. Okay, I completely removed the motor mount to lift it up the engine. Okay, as you can see, the engine is coming out straight. There is enough room to remove the engine and transmission. I always like to remove the complete engine and transmission every time when I do the engine swap. Okay guys, I got the engine and transmission out. Wasn't too bad, like I told you. On the bottom, just the motor mount, the 2 CV axle on the side, and the power steering pressure hose going to the rack and pinion. Wasn't too bad, but like I say, I like to remove the transmission and engine together because it's easier to work. Okay guys, now I'm going to remove the catalytic converters. It's held by 6 13mm nuts. I'm going to remove the CV axle shaft, 2 13mm bolts, and as you can see on this side we have to remove the other catalytic converter, the same 6 13mm bolts, and to swap to the other engine. Now, and I'm also going to remove the transmission on this one. All 13mm bolts around the transmission. Okay guys, now I'm going to remove the ER2, catalytic converters, the CV axle shaft, the inner part. Everything stays in the motor, and you can remove everything after you take the engine out because it's easier. You don't need to remove the catalytic converters before taking the engine out. Catalytic converters stays on the car, and as you can see here, because it's easier to work outside. Okay, and that's what I am now. This is how to remove this engine. Like I say, it's not a step by step.